What's up, YouTube? It is Car, and I'm back with another video. If you are returning, thank you for your support. If you are new, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. So this video, I'm thinking about making it a series on my channel. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But I just want to share more of me and my background and my history and where I've came from and who I am. And so I'll just be sharing with you guys, my experience in life as I was growing up. So this first story, I remember when I was 3 years old. And, there's not too many things I remember around that age. Most things are kind of like a blur. I have some images in my mind from around that time, but this instance that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, it's a memory that is much more vivid. It's actually probably one of the only memories I have of when I was 3 years old. And so the story goes like this. So my mother, she decided to take me out with her to run some errands. And I remember being in the front seat with her. Well, she was driving, but I was in the passenger seat. And so we're driving through the neighborhood, and she had ran into somebody that she knew. I don't know if it was a family friend. I don't know who it was, but it was somebody she knew, somebody that both of my parents knew. And it was a guy. And I remember they were talking for a minute, and then he speaks to me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, little guy," or whatever. And, he daps me up or whatever like this. And then he proceeds to kind of play fight. You know how, men do with younger guys. They play fight and try to toughen them up or whatever. So he's playing like he's going to play fight or play jab me. And he's like, "Huh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do if I punch you right now in your face?" Or something like that, in a joking way, obviously. And so what did I say? I was like, and I'll just roll up the window. And, I just said it like that. I don't remember saying it any certain way. I mean, I'm only 3 years old, so I don't remember how I said it, but I just remember me saying, "And I'll just roll up the window." And they finished talking or whatever, and then that's when we headed home. We got back to the house, and I'm in the living room, and so is my mom and my dad. And I'm in the living room. I'm on the ground. I don't know. I'm probably playing with a toy or something. I'm preoccupied because I wasn't, I'm hearing them, my mom and my dad, talk, but I'm not directly in their face, watching them. I'm preoccupied with something else. I'm just listening. And so I overheard my mother. She's like, "You'll never believe what happened today." So, we're out, me and Bakari's out, and we're riding around, and I'm running to such and such. And don't you know, he's threatening to punch him and fight with him. And don't you know, he was like, "I'll just roll up the window." And she said it just like that in that voice. And I do remember her with her finger like that. "I'll just roll up the window." She over feminized me. She was mocking and imitating me. Yes, my own mother. And I was only 3. And I remember them just having this conversation. They were talking about me literally in front of my face. And I'm 3 years old. And I believe my father, like, I don't remember his reaction. I believe he didn't really have a reaction. Maybe he was quiet. I don't know if he shook his head or anything. But that was the main thing I remember, is her imitating and mocking me in this feminine, overly feminine way, where she was looking down on me and talking down on me like I did something wrong. Like, I'm only 3 years old. What else do you expect me to do or say? And my thing is, like, if that's not the response that you wanted me to have, then why didn't you tell me the response? Or why didn't you try to, guide me later, like, hey, you shouldn't, but I'm only 3, so what could you really say to a 3-year-old? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was just so weird. And the energy that I felt from her was so dark, and that's like my first experience with feeling this dark, heavy, miserable energy. You wouldn't think that at 3 you should be experiencing something like that. You should be experiencing and feeling the love from your family, feeling the love from your mom and your dad, feeling the support. You're supposed to feel all of that. You shouldn't feel like you're unwanted. You shouldn't feel like you're less than. You shouldn't feel like you're this outcast because your parents aren't happy for how you act or happy for how you respond to people at the age of 3. And for me, and you'll hear me say this all the time on my channel because it's true, and I'm never going to stop saying this, but I knew who I was ever since I was a kid. I knew how I was. I knew how I acted. I knew everything about me. I was just being my authentic self. And I find myself as me being my authentic self. My authentic self is too much for the world. I'm too feminine to be a boy. I shouldn't be this way because I'm a boy. I shouldn't do this, or I shouldn't sound. There was all of these traps and blockages that just came into my life by way of my parents and my family that I grew up with, that placed all of these limitations on me. And so I still to this day, I never even asked my mom or talked to her about that situation, but it's just sad because, when you're that young, you have to depend on and you have to trust in your caregivers. Like, there's nothing else that you can do because you're not old enough to go out on your own. You're not able to pick and choose who you were born, whose life you were born into. So, the fact that I have to depend on these types of people, that's just sad, and my heart feels for people and kids that go through this on a daily basis up until this day now in day and age, because I feel like nobody should be experiencing that type of ridicule at that young age, especially for when all you're doing is expressing your authentic self. You're just being you. So if you're getting reprimanded and you're getting ridiculed and you're getting picked on and teased on for who you really are, then what is that going to do? That's going to make you hate yourself. That's going to make you not want to be yourself. That's going to make you hide yourself and hide even more and more parts of who you truly are. And so I had to do all of this uncovering, years of healing and uncovering and exploring parts of me that were covered up because of these hateful parents. Y'all, my parents were haters, big ass haters, hating on me since I was the age of 3. Like, ain't that crazy? But drop y'all comments down below and like this video, subscribe to my channel, Road to 1K, and let me know if y'all want to hear more stories and more of my life experiences like this, because I love sharing parts of me with y'all so y'all can get to know me more, and in hopes to help other people that can relate. It's time for us to heal as a collective, and we need to come together and be united as just for humanity's sake. So I will see y'all on my next video.